traffic log on a Palo Alto firewall. No configuration today, it's just how to troubleshoot on a Palo Alto firewall using a traffic logs. This is your first stop if you're searching for the traffic, looking if the traffic coming through the policy or if it's being denied, or you're troubleshooting at some generating firewall issue on a Palo Alto firewall. My topology for today, I have a workstation with a Palo Alto firewall. I'm logged into this workstation and I have admin sessions, so the GUI to the firewall. If you log into the firewall, the first place you will be presented is a dashboard. If you click on the monitor tab and select a traffic log, you will be presented with something similar to this, obviously specific to your firewall. The first thing I would like to stop is here the refresh options. At the moment, my one is set to manual. That means that nothing will change in this view. It doesn't mean that the traffic logs are not collected. It's just my view is frozen. If I want to refresh it, I need to hit this 2 arrows. The wheel will spin and the traffic should refresh here. See if we have more traffic than just DNS. Let's have a look. Try a new window and let's try ping 4.2.2.2. So we have additional traffic. I also have some backup, some Linux update running in the background, but at the moment it doesn't generate much traffic as I was expecting. But let's have a look if we can get, yeah, we have some other traffic here coming through. So the refresh is set to manual, but you can change it and the options are 10, 30 or 60 seconds. That means if you set it up to 10 seconds, this window will update every 10 seconds. Usually when I troubleshoot, I change it to manual. You can see the ping is coming through. I change it to manual and refresh it as often as I need to. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, as we see on the screen here, the traffic log is quite deep and has had lots of columns, but some of the columns are empty and maybe for your troubleshooting purposes are not needed. So for example, my firewall doesn't at the moment recognize dynamic users groups, source users or SD-WAN side. There's nothing like this is here. So it's enough if you click one of the columns, it doesn't matter which one, all of them have the option, and you click the columns and you should get the option, yeah, with all the options you can have display on your screen. So I can go, for example, like, so the type, disappear, sorry. Type, I don't need dynamic users group, dynamic address group, source dynamic address group, or source users, or SD-WAN. And I also see I have HTTP connection ID and a flap, doesn't need that. And also if I want to add anything, for example, I would like to see bytes receives and bytes sent in my view, I can select it. And you could see, as you've seen there, the options are quite rich. Let's see if I can go and screw all this. There's lots of stuff here. Not if using SD-WAN, flow type, if it's been decrypted, all that you can select it, and it can be different for different troubleshooting purposes. But for our basic overview of a traffic log, this is a great example. So I've selected the columns I would like to see on my screen. I have them here. I can click a refresh again, see if more traffic is coming through. I can see the ping is now running. So let's stop that ping. It doesn't let's have a look. Let's stop this because I don't need it. Good stuff. So we selected the columns what we want. Now maybe you don't like the order. For example, you want to have a source and a destination next to each other. So source IP and a destination IP next to each other, just for the clear visibility. You can drag and drop the columns and reorganize them in order it does suit you. So you go to from zones to zones, source IP address, destination IP, bytes send, receive, to port. So that's a destination port, but you can also have a source port here if you want to see application allow rule LAN to WAN, the reason the session terminated, but you can put them in order which you like. So we have the refresh button, we sort of done the housekeeping, allow the columns, we put them in the order. Now let's have a look at the packet details. So if you look at this looking glass, if you click it at any of the looking glass next to the traffic log you're interested in, for example, let's have a look. We don't want to ping, see if we have any other traffic that ping. Yeah, let's the first one, application get, it's fin. Let's open this. So this will give you a detail per each of the traffic log. Now, you can see it's a detailed log view. There's again lots of information. In the default view, it's difficult to operate. You can click this extend button and it will go large across your screen. First, you have a general, you have a session ID, action is allowed. It tells you which rule is it. So if you go to policies, the name of the rule should match. You go to start name, end date, the protocol, the reason for the end. Now, you have your source and the destination. If you're troubleshooting a networking issue, this is where you mostly go. So you see your source IP address, source port, destination IP address. But you also can see your net IP. If the source was nutted, we can see the source was nutted. So from 10.10.10.10 to 192.18.18.18, the destination wasn't nutted. So the destination IP address stayed the same. You can see the source interface and the destination interface. We can quickly have a look at the lab that this is the source and the destination interface because the traffic goes from this machine to the Ethernet 1/2 to Ethernet 1/1 towards the internet. So that's correct. You can see the port, source and destination. You could also see that while the NAT was done, the source port was changed. That's never, usually it's not an issue, but sometimes when you're troubleshooting applications and someone, for example, running a Wireshark at the other end, you want to give him the right port. And the view goes on. Yeah, so you got the details about the end packet, bytes and how much you receive, how much packets you receive, bytes sent and receive. You have a different flags. If the packet was decrypted, you will have a flag here. If the packet was going through captive portal, you will have a tick here. It tells you details about the packet when it's coming through the firewalls. There's other lots of details. If you deploy the SD-WAN with Palo Alto, you will have a details about the packet here. So the detail log view, again, great source of information if you want to find more details about your packet you're looking for. Now, if I close that, going back to my view, still set to the manual, we can see the packets coming through. Now, on my firewall, I have one machine doing a very small amount of traffic. But if you on a data center firewalls or enterprise firewall where there is tons and tons of new packets coming through, you want to see how to filter. And it's very easy to filter on a Palo Alto firewall. Let's start with the source IP address. If you want to filter your traffic log based on the source IP. It's enough if you click on the IP you're interested in, or maybe you can't find the IP in the log you're interested in. Click on any IP and it gives you the command. So it says the address dot source and it gives you the IP address. If I just click the arrow here, it will create a filter and the source IP will be just 10.10.10.10. Obviously my source is only 10.10.10.10 because it's the IP address of the machine. But I'll just give you an example how you can change. If you want to search for whole subnet, you can do .0/24 and it will include all the IPs in the class C subnet. Again, I hit the enter or you can hit the arrow and it will refresh and it will search for the source. So, and you can see that the IP address is still selected here. So that's a source IP address. Now you want to have a source and a destination. Again, easy. You just click a destination and the command is here. So you have your source, which we already specify. Then is an end, which says, I want this source and I want this destination. And again, the command is address destination in and the IP address. Again, you can change it. You can replace the IP address with a 8.8.8.8 manually, or you can click on this and it will work. Just quickly hit the arrow and it should filter. So again, now you can see the filter is working. So we only have a 10.10.10.10 and 34, 117, 237, 239 is the destination. So all the packets that match that filter will be displayed. Again, I have it set it to manual. So if I want to see the latest packet, I need to click a refresh. If I want to refresh it automatically every 10 seconds, I select the 10 seconds. So this is the filter. If you accidentally select the filter, which will not have a match, so I'll show you. So I have a address source, which is my LAN subnet, destination, and I click another destination. So I do copy all this command and I'll do this. Sorry, I'm in the virtual machine, so it doesn't like Control C, Control V. So I have to do it copy and paste. Now I change this to 8.8.8.8. Now, will the filter work? I don't think so it will work, because you can't have a source, single source, and two different destinations in the same packet. That would not work. But you can change the end to or. Now, and this filter now says I want this source, this destination, or this destination. And you can see the filter either display 10.10.10.10 and 8.8.8.8 destination, or the destination starting with the 34. So you can combine your filters to display the different fields as you like. And it's not just the source IP address and the destination address. You can add it whatever you want. You want to add it that you want application to be DNS. I would expect that it will just display this 8.8.8.8. So let's remove the middle section and do address 8.8.8 and a DNS space. Yes, you can see it's changed. What if I want just to see application based on a DNS? Can I do that? Yes. Again, so you can combine the different fields. It's enough if you click them, you added the variable you want to see inside, and you hit the little arrow, and it will display the filter. I go back to the source and the destination IP, and I will show you something. So for example, if you have lots of traffic which is going to the DNS, and you don't want to see that traffic, but you want to see everything else. So I can specify my source, which we already done, and the destination of the DNS servers. And now I want to tell the filter that I want to see everything apart from the traffic log that match that. So it's enough if I put exclamation mark in front of the destination IP address and I click. And now if I am correct, yes, it displays all other traffic in a traffic log. So all other traffic apart from the traffic where the source is a 10.10.10.10 and a destination 8.8.8.8. Just little tip how you can again search in a traffic log. Now let's have a look at the times, another great way to search for your packets. If you know that, for example, that was the time, I'm pretty sure you would not know exactly for that second, but I show you how to work with the time. So at the moment, this command says the receive time is less than 12:10:32. So we should see all the times in the logs that are small. So we can see 12:10:32 is on the top, 12:08:52, 12:06, so all less. If I go and change the greater, so, and it's a equal, greater, equal, yes, so receive time is greater. Now if I click the arrow, so yes, I should see all the times in the logs that are greater than 12:11:37. So we have 12:11:37, 12:13:22, 13:22, 13:27, 14:07. So yeah, you can see have a less, which is L EQ, or greater, which is G EQ. If I want exactly the time, it will be just equal EQ. So if I hit enter, it's here. Very rarely you will have know exactly when the packet was going through the traffic logs, but the less or greater, it's a great helper if you're searching in a certain time period. Now I'll remove this filter and going back to my window. Now I want to show you something very helpful, especially when you're troubleshooting and you need to create multiple filters which you need to go and change back and forwards because you're searching for the certain traffic patterns and you want to see from different source or different destination because the engineers are testing different source and a destination. So the easiest way is there are two options. There are two options how you can do it. So I created just some kind of the filter. So I said, this is the source with this destination. I want to be the rule length when, and don't know, the port 443. And the filter can grow quite a lot. So it can get quite complex. So there are two options how you can do it. So I can hit the filter. It's all here. I can either take and again, I need to copy. I'll see if I have a text editor. Yeah. And the option is that you will, like every network engineer, run your text file and you just do your rules here and you save them for the later when you going back and forward. So if I minimize it, yeah, I have my filter, then I need to go and do a different filter. So delete it. Now I have to use it again. So I need to come here, copy. I will not learn that there's a Control-C, Control-V doesn't work here. Pasted it, hit the arrow, the filter works. And it's not only for you when you're troubleshooting. For example, you have your colleague who also troubleshooting, has a different session to the firewall with his credentials. And for example, over the Microsoft Teams or any other collaboration tool, you will send him this filter, tell him, look, this is the filter I'm using, this is what I'm seeing, have a look. So there's one option. The second option, if you only working on that firewall, is you can save the filter. So you got your filter, which works here. You can click this. There is a little floppy disk icon. For those who doesn't know what the floppy disk, this is how we save the data a long time back. So you click this save filter icon, give it a name. So it could be like a P1 SSL doesn't work, whatever you want to name it, or and you click OK, and you have your filter saved. Now I can work and create different filters. For example, play with the traffic log. Now I want to bring my filter which I saved back and check it again. So I click the icon next to the save. It says load filter. It should give me the option. Yes, so that's the filter I saved. So highlight it, click OK, and the filter is back here. I just click the arrow that I want to filter the traffic I see here into my view. So that's how you create the filter and you save it for later use. If you don't want to save it in the text file, you can save it there. I believe it's a persistent, so it will stay there for even the other engineers who will log in after you, and you can tell him, look, this is the filter I use, have a look there, I'll name it this and this, use it, and you see what I've seen on the traffic logs. Now, the last thing, or one of the last things I want to show you, is you do a filter. You, for example, see that the traffic is permitted, and then you want to send it off to someone who raised the ticket that he has no access, for example, to this server, and he's saying, oh, I can't get there, something is wrong. You can either take and grab a screenshot of it, highlight that it's allow and it's coming through the firewall, or the other option is click this little icon. It's got little X on it, so I think it should mean like a Excel, and it will export it to CSV, which is readable in Excel if you're using that application. So if you click this icon, it gives you please wait, exporting a log. Yeah, I want to download a file. So it downloaded as a log-1. Let's see if I can open it. Yeah, I don't have Excel installed on my Linux machine, so I try to open it in a Visual Studio, and let's see what it does. It will not be perfectly clear readable, but you can see that's the traffic log we just exported. So you got your time, traffic end, now we have your source, destination, again LAN to WAN, what's the host protocol. If you open it with the Microsoft Excel or other application that like tables from macOS, you will now see it nicely in the columns, and you can send it to someone. You can send it to someone, and he can investigate the traffic. Let's close it. I'll go back to my window. So we know how to export it. We know how to work with the traffic and with the columns, how to filter the traffic in a traffic log. That last thing I want to stress out is all the traffic, which is a traffic log, is the traffic which been closed off through the firewall. That's mean that the traffic was established to the firewall, then it ended, and then it's logged into the traffic log. You can also see that session end reason, there are different types of the session end, TCP fin, edge out, but the traffic is not anymore on the firewall. If you want to know what sessions are on or open on the firewall, you will have to go into the let's have a look, session browser. It's on the same monitor tab, and if you click a session browser, that's the live traffic on the firewall. Those are all the sessions on the firewall which are currently open. So it's a slightly different from a traffic log, just so you understand the difference. The reason why you only see traffic which has been closed off by the firewall, because by default on the Palo Alto firewalls, if you're creating a policies, I will have just only one here, but still it will give you the example. If you're creating a policy and you selecting when you want to log the traffic, I believe it's under the usage, action, it's under the action, log setting, log at the session end. That's mean when the traffic goes to the firewall, finished, the firewall will log it into the traffic log. Now, it is usually recommended just to take the log at the session end, because if you log it at the session start and the session end, it will very quickly fill up your space for the traffic logs. However, if you're troubleshooting issue and you can't find the problem and you can't see the session in a traffic log, but you still think it's hitting the firewall, you can take the log at the session start on the policy you think it's hitting, and then you will see if the actual traffic is arriving at the traffic log on the firewall. So you will have more details about the traffic which is coming into the firewall. If you want to know even more about the traffic, there is a third option, and I will discuss that option in my next video. And this is how you run the packet capture or Wireshark capture on a Palo Alto firewalls. So that's how you use traffic log on a Palo Alto firewalls. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. It will help me to grow it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.